friends, and welcome. My name is Dr. Heather Cardin, and I am super excited to be here with you at the Pruvit community to help answer all your questions and be your specialist live today to help answer your questions that you have about all things Pruvit. So as we join here today, every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, we have a different specialist live here to help you answer your questions that you have about ketones, ketosis, and all things Pruvit. So as you're joining it, let us know where you're joining from. I'm actually coming to you live from Kansas City. I've actually practiced here at Cardin Center for Wellness for 25 years as a functional medicine physician. I've actually talked about and practiced the ketogenic diet, the low carb diet, taught the ketogenic and low carb diet with my practice here with my patients for over 25 years. So you can imagine how excited I was when I heard in 2015 that Pruvit did what nobody else nobody else has been able to do, which is actually manufacture the first pure therapeutic exogenous ketone. I know how difficult it can actually be to actually maintain the state of ketosis. Ketosis simply means your body's in that amazing state where you're actually burning fat for fuel. Again, teaching this for well over 2 decades, there can be many circumstances where people simply just cannot achieve ketosis, or they can achieve it but just can't maintain it because either lifestyle happens or they can't select the foods, or they can't figure out the macros. Now we have that problem solved. So now you can choose any lifestyle that you like, whether you are low carb, vegan, vegetarian. You simply just need to grab a shaker bottle. The hardest decision for me is waking up and like, what flavor do I want to choose today? So today I'm actually having a little lime time with you. So let me know what flavor you're mixing up. If you're brand new to Pruvit, drop a number 1 down below. So we know that you're brand new. Maybe you haven't gotten your packet yet, and maybe you've placed an order. So put a number 2 down. You've actually placed an order, but you've yet to get your Pruvit products. And so you don't know what flavor you're going to try first. But if you have tried Pruvit, let us know what your favorite flavor is or what you're trying to drink today. So we're going to get right down to the point, which is we want to help you better understand our amazing Pruvit products. So when I started back in 2015, we had one product in our store, which is our amazing, our hero product, Pruvit NAT, which is a pure therapeutic exogenous ketone, which means you simply shake it up in water, drink it, and put your body in that amazing state of ketosis in less than 59 minutes. Diet independent, no counting macros. Again, diet independent, which means it doesn't matter which lifestyle you choose, it will put your body in that amazing state of ketosis anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6+ hours, just depending on your lifestyle, depending on your body's own metabolics, depending on when you're using it, before, after workout, while you're sleeping. So there could be some different factors involved, but it will put you guaranteed 99% of the time, put your body in that amazing state of ketosis. So now we know we have a lot of other support products. We have amazing challenges. We have our reboot kit, our 24-hour fast kit, but let's get right down to your questions. The great thing is, if you haven't noticed, our actually amazing social media team launches the questions a couple days before. You have the option to actually post your question in case maybe you're working at the time this goes live, so you can get your question answered. So I always start with those questions first. So I want to make sure those people get rewarded for actually jumping in first, asking their questions. So the question that came in first is, what is the difference between the Up? So we know the Up comes in a few different flavors. It comes in our cans, and the Keto Pro. So what is the difference between the Up and the Keto Pro? I'll go ahead and explain the difference between the Up, the Keto Pro, and the Mexican ampules and our Keto NAT. So the Up is our free fermented formula, which means our normal ketone NAT is actually bound to a salt. So here to say ketone salt. The salt is either sodium or calcium. So the beta hydroxybutyrate is a ketone, and it's actually bound to a free form salt, which is sodium and calcium. Once you mix it with water, it dissolves, and then you drink it, then your body has to absorb it. With the Keto Up, it's actually not bound to a salt, it's bound to itself. So the beta hydroxybutyrate is simply bound to itself. It's bound to another BHB. So within just minutes you drink it, it actually goes right into your body, right into the cells. You will notice that you have a quicker uptake into your body, probably notice you're in ketosis quicker. People say, gosh, I feel it quicker. The energy is quicker to my brain. I feel that quicker surge of energy, almost an awakening feeling within your body. So it's a free cell. That's why there's no sodium in there. That's why you notice the sodium is in the NAT, because the beta hydroxybutyrate is bound to the sodium, but there is no sodium in actually the Keto Up. So with the ampules from Mexico, the little liquid ampules, the difference between that and the Keto NAT or the Up or the Keto Pro is that the sweetener is different. According to the regulations, we had to use a different sweetener. The sweetener we use there is also all natural, like we use in our Keto NAT, our UP, and our Keto Pro. It is called allulose. It's actually in the plum family of sweeteners. It's 1/10 the sweetness of natural cane sugar. It does not rise your blood sugar in test studies. And some people actually prefer it a little bit better. It still has a little bit of erythritol and stevia, which we have in our NAT product, our UP, and our Keto Pro. And some people actually notice because it is a liquid formula, you still need to mix it with water. I had some people mistake it and just take it like a shot. That is straight beta hydroxybutyrate. Please reconstitute it with 12 to 16 ounces of water. Shake it up. Don't just take it straight. So go ahead and mix it with water. And you'll actually, some people notice a little bit of a quicker uptake. But yes, the only difference, it has the same amount of beta hydroxybutyrate. You'll get in ketosis within less than an hour, but the sweetener is different. So that is the main difference. Then the other question is, and I'm noticing your questions here on my computer right here, so we're going to get to your questions. The great thing is, if I do talk a little fast, this is on replay. Our amazing social media team is actually going to recap this for you, so you can fast forward, you can stop it, you can get to those questions answered. The difference between Keto Pro, yes, it does come in a can in the US. It also comes in the sachets. So you probably got one in your reboot kit and had that this morning if you finished the reboot. Speaking of the reboot, who did the reboot challenge? If you did, just put I did the reboot, and give yourself a big high five. The difference between the Keto NAT and our Keto Pro, and speaking of Keto Pro, if you've been watching our social media, St. Patty's Day, there's going to be a new flavor of the Keto Pro that is dairy-free that's getting ready to launch. There's a green package floating around, so I heard a little chocolate cream, chocolate mint cream. If you have some guesses, drop them down below, but there's a new Keto Pro coming in town in just a few hours. So the Keto Pro still has our amazing beta hydroxybutyrate, plus it has a ketone-friendly protein in it, plus it has MCT. I love having the Keto Pro before bedtime. There's so many amazing studies showing having your brain in the state of ketosis prior to going to bed helps cellular repair at the brain, having your brain in that state of ketosis. We've got a great video on our YouTube channel. Dr. Lillian talks about that. So it does help your brain repair, get you into that deeper sleep quicker, that stage 3 and stage 4 much quicker when you're in that state of ketosis. It's also great pre and post workout. So any time of the day, you can have it in the morning. But again, it has a little bit less the beta hydroxybutyrate because your body will take the additional MCT in the Keto Pro, and your liver will turn that very quickly into additional ketones plus the additional protein. We do have it it has a casein base. Again, we've got lots of different flavors. One's a pumpkin-based protein, one is an egg-based protein, and one is a casein or protein. So lots of different choices there. So I see lots of questions coming in here. So I did have a couple questions. What happens if I'm doing the 24 fast, or if I'm doing the reboot and I happen to miss one of the products, something like the Signal OS, or something like maybe the Signal OS, or maybe one of the other products? You don't have to start over. Just go ahead and take it when you remember. So one person asked, I forgot the Signal OS during the 24 fast. Did I, quote, mess up because I forgot to take it with the NAT Light? No, we do know that the Signal OS is most optimal when taken with the NAT Light because they synergistically work best together. However, any time is better than no time. So just go ahead and take it. I don't know if this person forgot the NAT Light or forgot to take it at the same time with the Signal OS, but if you drink the NAT Light, say a couple hours before bedtime, then you take the Signal OS right at bedtime, that's okay too. Just go ahead and take it when you remember. And that was the same question I had with the reboot. Somebody said, I quote, messed up. I forgot to take one of the products, one of the extra additional servings. Am I still okay? Yes, you're still okay. And oftentimes when people are beginning the reboot, if they've not done one before, they've not done any prolonged or extended fasting, sometimes if you're following along with the coaches, we'll actually say that if you're feeling okay, you're cruising along, you're not having any satiety issues, you feel amazing, no hunger, your mindset is great, that it's okay, especially if your tummy is being a little bit irritable, that you don't have to have that extra serving of NAT, or maybe you want to do just a half a pack of NAT, or maybe just reduce one of the Mitoplex, or you can take an additional Mitoplex. It's okay. Please listen to your body. Those instructions are meant for just It's a starting point, but listen to your body, go with what your body says. But if you do forget just because life gets busy and it is a new system and a new program, it's okay. You don't have to hit the reset button, just continue on with the program. So great questions there coming in. So remember, you can always submit those questions to our social media team through Instagram and through Facebook. They launch those questions on Monday and Tuesday, so we can get those on Wednesday. And again, if you're just joining, we want to know what flavor you're drinking up today. What is your favorite flavor overall? If you just finished the reboot. So Jimmy Walker says, can I mix my ketones with sugar-free powerade? So Jimmy, I personally so you can mix them with whatever you like. However, I think optimally, especially if someone has any type of gut issues, if you've had any type of blood sugar issues, we do know that even any artificial sweeteners can cause some neurotoxicity. We also know that any artificial sweeteners can also increase your blood sugar. We also know that artificial sweeteners, things like aspartame and NutraSweet, those can also increase your hunger hormones. So I would say I would probably stick with something like water, or something like, and instead of using the Powerade, you would optimally, I would use the Mitoplex hands down over using a Powerade. And especially anything with any type of artificial sweetener, I would not use. The ketones taste amazing, so I don't know why you want to put another flavor with them. However, if you're using a Powerade, you definitely want to switch to our Mitoplex, because this is an upgraded electrolyte. Why is it upgraded, you're probably asking? Well, you can get more information on our Pruvit TV, but it has something called PQ2. Oftentimes we can be drinking water, we can be taking vitamins, we can be taking nutrients, but maybe you're taking it in and it's going straight through our body. It's actually not getting into the cellular level. And that's what makes our NAT difference. That's what makes our Mitoplex difference, is our PQ2 actually has something very special that ensures, like a carrier or a taxi cab, to get the electrolytes into the cell, to make sure that our body uptakes the electrolytes so our body actually uses it. And that's the same with our ketones. When we say we have the world's only bioidentical, it's because our body recognizes it. It's what our body naturally makes. So when we drink this, our body goes, I know how to utilize that. Our cell goes ahead and uptakes it. It's not foreign to our body. That's why some things that are not bioidentical, the body just passes it through and doesn't utilize it. This is bioidentical, so the body takes it up. The same thing with using the PQ2 in the Mitoplex. The body recognizes that, it uses it, it takes it up into the cell. That's why you feel amazing. And statistically, we know as a global universe, we know that we are actually a global society, that we are actually deficient in many, many minerals. So we definitely need to be taking electrolytes anywhere from 1 to 3 a day. We've got amazing flavors, the citrus, the orange, the lemon. I can personally say the citrus is my favorite. I know my son's home from college and he raided my box and he takes all the lime home every time he's home. So let us know what your favorite flavor is of the Mitoplex. But I would definitely use a Mitoplex over using a Powerade or a Gatorade, just because it's so much more bioavailable for your body. So this is great. Teresa said, I just started doing keto and I just started fasting and someone's retaining water. Can you explain why? Absolutely. So when we eat a carbohydrate, say you're normally eating carbohydrate, you haven't started keto yet. So when we eat a carbohydrate, our body secretes blood sugar or glucose. That's the energy that we get. In order to get that energy to a cell, we have to use insulin. Insulin works like using a bus to get the blood sugar to the target organ or the muscle to use it. Anytime that happens, insulin actually rings a little bell and tells the kidney to actually signal water, or we need water to make that happen. So when you're actually reducing your carbohydrate intake, you're not ringing the bell as much because you're not using as much insulin. It makes sense that you're actually going to retain water more, because your body's a little confused initially what's happening. So you used to eat a lot of carbohydrates and now you're reducing your carbohydrate load because you're eating keto, you're using exogenous ketones, which are saying, hey, I'm not hungry as often, I'm not snacking as often, I'm doing intermittent fasting. So now your body's just got to have a little bit of an adaptation period, a transition period, because you're not using as much insulin, the kidney's not being signaled as much to use that. So it's just a little bit of an adaptation phase. That's where you really want to make sure you're probably measuring out and counting the water, make sure you're drinking enough water, which is at least half your body's water's weight. Check your urine, make sure it's a light color yellow, add some electrolytes in, maybe even take an Epsom salt bath and make sure that your body's actually getting well hydrated. Oftentimes people think they're drinking enough water. I have all my patients do food diaries. I'm like, gosh, I really thought I was drinking water, but I found out I'm just walking around with it. I'm actually not getting enough in. So make sure you're drinking enough, and maybe you want to slow down. If you're ketones, so you're drinking 2 a day, make sure you're getting 1 to 2 mitoplex in a day, and your body will balance out. Just give it a little bit of time. It's a great question. Grasshopper chocolate mint, Dallas guessed. I don't know the flavor, so Dallas is guessing. We know that there is a new Keto Pro flavor coming around the corner for St. Pat's Day, so we're all guessing what flavor it's going to be. So if you're wondering what we're guessing, that's what we're guessing about. Yes, Amy's asking, can you chat a little bit about bowel movements and ketones and absorption? Absolutely. So ketones themselves have a mild diuretic effect. We know our fat cells hold up to 170 different toxins, waters, other elements. So if we know ketones have a mild diuretic effect, we also know about 79% of us are dehydrated just on a normal basis. So if we're already dehydrated, and then we just talked about what carbohydrates do, and then we're drinking Keto NAT, which has another diuretic effect, it can actually lead to some mild diuretic effects. So that actually equals constipation, or in the other end, diarrhea. The major function of our large intestine is to reabsorb water and get ready for evacuation. Well, if we're already dehydrated and our large intestine can't reabsorb any more water because we're already getting a little bit more dehydrated, then you're going to get constipated. Also, if you're cutting out some quick carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are processed food. Processed means it's just been bleached, enriched, and almost halfway chewed for you, so to speak. So if we look at things that are enriched and milled and processed, it means they've already been, again, almost already chewed for you, so to speak. So when you're cutting out processed foods, you're going to more whole foods, it's going to be a little bit of a change for the gut for you. So again, be a little bit patient. If you're having constipation, drink more water. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Just take 2 or 3 days and just measure it out. Don't count your water in your ketones, but yes, you can count your water in your mitoplex. Put your mitoplex in your ketones and just keep that out of the equation, because we know ketones have a mild diuretic effect. So if you're mixing it in 16 ounces of water, just don't count that in your daily allowance. On the other side, if you're getting diarrhea on the other end, maybe 2 or 3 bowel movements a day, and if it's not uncomfortable, that will actually dissipate in a couple days, because we talked about every fat cell has about 170 different toxins and hormones in it. Your body's just naturally detoxifying things out. And again, as you're cutting out processed carbohydrates, your body's going to acclimate a little bit. It's used to having sugar and processed foods. It's going to have to really remember how to break down foods. So if you're having diarrhea, slow down on the ketones a little bit, and slow down just means either if you're drinking them in 5 or 10 minutes, maybe drink them in 20 to 30 minutes, or have a half a serving in the morning, a half a serving in the afternoon, or have a whole serving, but have a little bit of fat and protein. That would be 1 to 2 tablespoons, either an ounce or 2 of nuts, or maybe a tablespoon or 2 of chicken salad or egg salad, or a bite of chicken or a bite of tuna, a little bit of something just to slow down the transition time. Don't over dilute it and put it in a gallon of water. Don't drink it in 2-hour time frame, because you're not going to bump up your ketone level. Just drink it again in about 20 to 30 minutes. And then your body puts your body in ketosis in that hour time frame. But again, just give your body a little bit of time to get adjusted to the ketones. And congratulations to everyone who finished the reboot. I'm looking at everyone who finished it. Congratulations, congratulations. So the question is no. Someone said, does the high salt affect cholesterol? The answer is no. The sodium that is in the Keto NAT, the Keto Pro, the bone broth is actually there, as we talked about, is actually bound to the ketone itself to help with absorption. We know we talked about NAT has a mild diuretic effect. So we know as we have a diuretic effect as we're going to the bathroom, whether we're having diarrhea or if we're just having a normal bowel movement or going normal urination, that we're going to excrete salts through that process. this, or as we're having more energy because ketones are giving us amazing energy, we're walking, we're working out, we're getting our sweat on because we're participating in core 4, which is to get a sweat on. We're losing electrolytes, we're losing sodium. The sodium that is in NAT is simply to replace what is lost through one single serving. It's not meant to be part of our RDA, so there's no way, it's not going to affect your cholesterol level, whether it's your HDLs, your LDLs, your triglycerides. It's not going to affect any part of your cholesterol. And also, with that being said, when you look at NAT, there's no fat in there, so it's not going to collect the fat in there, nor the sodium, nor the beta hydroxybutyrate is not going to affect your cholesterol. However, if you do have high cholesterol and you begin using Keto NAT and you're actually doing the reboot, the 24 fast, you're participating in intermittent fasting, you're eating our amazing Pruvit meals, and now you've cut out the cakes and cookies and pies, the soft drinks, what you will notice that those things, cakes and cookies and pies, soft drinks, snacking, eating 10 to 12 hours a day, will actually increase your total cholesterol. Studies show that it increases your triglycerides. It can increase your LDLs when you're eating processed, hydrogenated foods with oils in them, things like canola oil and oils that your body cannot break down, saturated fats, those type of fats that are unhealthy for our body. Those will elevate your cholesterol. Lack of exercise will elevate your cholesterol. Now you're feeling amazing. You're participating in our amazing reboot, our amazing 24 fast. Ketones are helping you with the cravings, helping you with doing our intermittent fasting. You're ultimately organically going to have less desire for those foods that can raise your cholesterol. So it actually can put your cholesterol in a healthier level. So thanks for asking that question. So Shonda's asking, what exactly does Signal OS do? Do I need to take it with my ketones? So studies do show that it is best taken with your ketones. So yes, it is best taken with them. However, if you do take them apart, as we mentioned earlier, if you want to take your ketones a little bit earlier in the day and take your Signal OS at night, or you want to take your Signal OS in the morning and have your ketones mid-morning, that's okay to do. Signal OS is a blend of minerals and different type of herbs, and what they do is in the morning, they're adaptogens to help get your body up and going. It's a gentle way to help wake your cells up, to help wake your adrenal glands up, to get your body up and going. Not something to help shock your body like an alarm clock, but it's a nice way to help your body get up and get moving and get your cells going, get your lymphatic system going. And when you use it in conjunction with a fuel starter like ketones, it works together to get your body up and gently get started and going. And then when you use the Signal OS at night, the PM, what it does is it gives your brain a rest. So you drink the ketones at night to help calm your nervous system down, to calm that fight or flight mode down, to put your body in that state of ketosis where it's starting to rest and calm that autonomic nervous system down. Then the Signal OS is going to actually help repair those telomeres that have been damaged throughout the exposure throughout the day, help get you in that deeper sleep, slows down that aging process at night. So they do work best synergistically together, but they can be taken a couple hours apart. And we do suggest anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 a day in the morning and 1 to 2 to 3 at night. Just kind of regulate on how you feel in the morning, how you feel at night. We do have a specific number that we do use during the 24 fast, which would be 3. You can look at those programs, but if it doesn't feel quite right to you, you can always just vary those. So if we say 3 with the 24 fast at night or the Signal OS, and you think, gosh, I'd really feel better with 2, that's okay. Or maybe you feel better with 4, that's okay as well. And you don't just have to take it during the 24 fast or the reboot. You can take them every single day that you want better brain health, you want better energy, you want to feel better all day long, you want to slow down your aging process all day long. So you can take that Signal OS every single day that you want to feel better. And Debbie, hopefully I think that you caught the difference between the UP and the ketones. We did cover that. And so I saw 3 or 4 questions about ketones and pregnancies. So currently there has not been any studies done, and Pruvit has not done any studies using exogenous ketones while being pregnant. However, with any medical condition that there's not been any clinical studies done on, we do recommend that you absolutely check with your healthcare provider and you make that decision together with your healthcare provider, whether it's best for you or not. I can't override any medical decision, nor can any promoter override any medical decision that your doctor has recommended. Just share the information with them and let them know, and you can actually decide that together with them. So we do want to make sure that you're actually doing everything the healthiest way possible. We do know ketones are natural for your body, but make sure you're checking with your healthcare provider first. And again, exogenous ketones have been studied for well over 110 plus years. However, exogenous ketones have been studied again since about the 1970s, but no one's ever manufactured one that's been used in the mass quantities like Pruvit has done, and the hundreds of thousands and millions I can say now. So I would say that you're going to look for more up and coming studies as we continue to launch globally around the world. Major universities are studying what exogenous ketones are doing. So continue to keep your ears and eyes open. We get a lot of information at our amazing Keto Academy. All this research is eluding all around the university, all around the world. I say all around the globe. We know researchers are now more than ever in the universities, in the labs, finding out what ketones are doing at the cellular level. We already know what they've been doing for the brain for well over 100 years, so stay tuned for more information because there is a lot coming out. So Lindsay's asking, is it normal when you come off the reboot to have a migraine or a headache? So, and this is also same as true as going into a migraine or a headache. So when you're actually reducing your carbohydrates, whether you're going into a reboot, whether you're beginning intermittent fasting, whether you're just starting the ketogenic or starting the 10-day challenge and you forget to get your favorite snack at the gas station, or when you're checking out the grocery store, you forget to get a snack there. And when you're organically, and when I mean that, it just means you naturally stop craving those sweets that you normally would grab on the go. What happens is that you can have a little bit of a rebound effect from those carbohydrates because we know sugar is highly addictive. So as your body's coming off of those sugars, and we know Keto NAT can absolutely help, we're going to encourage you to actually increase that. So if you felt great during the reboot, you're having ketones 4 times a day. You're having it with the Keto NAT. You're having it with the broth. So if you actually stop the reboot and then you're noticing that now the headache has returned or the migraines have returned, it's telling you that either something you're eating before, so it could be a potential food allergy or sensitivity, it could be eggs, it could be nuts, it could be almonds, it could be gluten, anything that you reintroduce could be causing the headache. And we do know there's major studies about the ketogenic diet, not about exogenous ketones, but about the ketogenic diet helping with headaches and migraines. We also know that reduction of electrolytes and dehydration can also cause headaches, migraines, and fatigue. Then you have to be a little bit of a detective. Keep a food diary and say, well, gosh, maybe it is eggs. That's the first thing that I did when I came off the reboot is I had eggs. Or maybe you made some chia pudding with milk, like cow's milk. Maybe it is dairy. Or maybe you had pork sausage for breakfast. So be a little bit of a detective and think, maybe it's what I introduced is causing a headache or migraine. And having the extra ketones during the reboot actually help the headache or migraine. So some of that is you being a little bit of a detective for your body and see what happens. So we do want to encourage you, after you finish the reboot every month, the next one is April 17th, that you do continue on your health journey, because now the real magic begins inside your body, because the reboot is just the beginning of getting that gut terrain set because you did that 60-hour keto reboot. The gut terrain is now nice and clean. Continuing that 24-hour fast every single week until the next reboot is really where the magic begins, is stacking those reboot and reboot month after month, doing a 24 fast every week and intermittent fasting every day. And to keep yourself accountable, use our Pruvit Everyday app. So again, be a detective and just kind of follow what's happening within your body, because there would be nothing else besides dehydration or again a food allergy that would probably cause a headache to happen. I had another question come in. I want to make sure I covered that, but do not forget, I know we've got a few minutes left here, a couple minutes over, but be ready because there is a flavor drop coming for Keto Pro, the green package that you've been seeing all around social media. So please guess what it's going to be. It's a Keto Pro dairy-free. It's a green package. I hear chocolate, I hear mint, I hear cream, I hear lots of things floating around, but it will drop on St. Patty's Day. Also, for you basketball fans out there, March Madness is right around the corner. And Pruvit, if you don't know, our CEO, Brian Underwood, is a huge Kentucky basketball fan. He played D1 basketball there. So we are all about March Madness here at Pruvit. So there's going to be some fun stuff coming around the corner for March Madness. So don't forget to stay tuned for how we are going to have some fun kicking off March Madness. this. And if you're brand new to our Pruvit community, drop a number 1. We want to give you a nice, big, warm welcome. If I did not get your questions answered today, no fear. We have 4 to 5 years of past Facebook Lives available to you. Just simply swipe up above and you can find those there. You can also use the search bar. You can also get back with the person that invited you to this live or invited you to this page. They can help you find questions on our YouTube channel, our Keto 101, our Pruvit TV. We have an amazing help center that can also help you find the questions and answer. You can also pop over to our shop page. You can look at our supplement facts and you can find where the flavors come from, where the ingredients, where different macros come from. All that is 100% transparent to you. We do want to thank you for joining us here today. It's always an amazing time. It's one of my favorite times of the week being here with you. You always inspire me to learn more about this ketone conversation, because I can tell you, after practicing 25 years, 20 years ago, no one wanted to talk about ketones. People couldn't even spell it. Now to know this one of the top hashtag words, it is so exciting to have this conversation with you, talking about fasting, intermittent fasting, loving the core 4. And with that, my last question is who is doing the core 4? Which round are you on? Round 1, 2, or 3? If you didn't see it, they extended the deadline for the second round of the core 4. And if you haven't seen the winners from round 1, over $34,000 of prizes were given away for the round 1 winners. Congratulations to all of those people. Amazing, amazing stories of what ketones have done for their lives, both mentally, both physically, both financially now. It's amazing, amazing things happen to people who actually stick with the program, and they're pretty easy. It's just 4 simple health hacks, at least 4 days a week, 4 times a week for 4 straight weeks. It's that easy. And get a couple friends to join you. Again, my name is Dr. Heather Cardin, coming to you live from Kansas City. Have an amazing day, and I can't wait to join you with the new flavor of our new Keto Pro. Have a great day, friends. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.